Gen 10 will have voice acting if you buy all the Lego sets. You will buy all of the Lego sets for hundreds of dollars. You dumb bastard.
Happy Tuesday, my man. How are you today?
Happy Tuesday. Freezing. It is so
Dude,
cold.
It's supposed to snow here this weekend.
know,
you know that, right?
That's what Brad was talking about. Oh man. I'm supposed to.
Dude, it's supposed to be like, for us, bad. Okay, so for context for everybody else out there in the world who is not in the Southeast, we don't get snow that often, and when we do, it's mainly just like ice. Like it's just like impacted ice that freezes over or something like that. This weekend, we are predicted to get about 8 or 9 inches of snow, at least where I live.
Yeah.
And for us, this is a freaking lot. We normally only get like maybe 2.
Yeah, I gotta think about that because I'm supposed to be scheduled to travel several hours
I don't think you are.
Well, they have to make that call. I gotta reach out. I'll have my people talk to their people.
Talk to their
and
people.
My people will talk to their people.
Exactly.
And I will find out.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very excited because not only do we have that, but also I already this is my first open Saturday of the year.
Oh, wow.
This is saying something for me. Like this is my first free Saturday that I've had so far.
Yeah, last week you were hauling it.
Dude,
hauling
all over the place. And then the week before to start the year, it was also crazy. So this week's been
pulling a Brooks.
A little more chill.
Yeah.
Thank
literally
goodness. Literally and figuratively. But I'm also excited because like I'll actually get to play with my son on Saturday, which will be really nice in the snow.
That's so
he hasn't
sweet.
seen snow in like 2 years. So
some of the best memories that I have growing up are snow days. I remember when I got the flu so bad one time. I was bedridden for like 2 weeks, and I just couldn't go anywhere. And it snowed outside, and my sister was really little at the time. And I remember her throwing, because also in the South, our snow is not like super fluffy and like this typical snow you think
like
of.
I said,
usually
it's
like
more
frozen
more
sleet.
compacted ice. than anything,
Yeah. But she made a compacted ice ball and chunked it at my window, which I now have a blackout curtain over, thank God. So the lighting should be consistent all the time. But I've got
broke your window.
I feel like we've all got some pretty good memories and bad memories of snow,
Sure.
Or
well,
ice
Brooks,
or sleet. But whatever.
Speaking of memories, this is a memory for me, but a more recent thing for you. You finally played Expedition 33. There's a stream on your channel if people want to go check it out. There's a stream on your channel of you playing the first
literally the first hour
and some change.
Yeah,
hour
if you
and some
minus
change.
all the setup and everything, it's
essentially
hour.
the prologue.
Yeah.
It's essentially the prologue. You essentially played the prologue, which is the first like roughly hour of the game. Okay, so I need your initial thoughts just after that stream, and then you've played it a little bit more since then, so I want to hear your initial thoughts. I'm like way further deep into the game than you are at this point. I'm almost at the end of Act 2. I just need to hear your initial thoughts on the prologue.
Also, first of all, Emily is saying trash take for something that I made that we'll be talking about.
Oh yeah.
We'll be posting that later.
Yeah.
But it's the short. I sent it to her last night.
Oh, nice.
So thanks, Emily. But so the first hour of Expedition 33, I haven't played much past the prologue, but the takeaways that I have are what? So
story-wise, it's all story basically. Like it's all story.
It was awesome. It was like I love visually. Everything looks really nice,
dude. It's gorgeous.
Very stylized.
Very reminiscent of like Final Fantasy games.
The story so far, which granted, it is extremely difficult for me to do blind runs of games.
Yeah.
Live to stream it. I rarely do that anymore. There are some people that are.
I kind of talked you
it.
into doing the first hour, but mainly because like I knew what it was gonna do to you, and then so I was like, you gotta stream at least the prologue.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair. I got through it, and I have so many questions. Like,
dude, and I still have questions.
It's one of the most effective prologues of any game that I've played.
I'm about 40 hours into this game, and I still have questions.
Like, okay, so this is not going to be a spoiler for people who haven't played the game because it's literally like the first hour.
Yeah.
When you begin the expedition, I'll even be vague about it. When you begin the expedition, there's something that happens, and the characters don't even know what's going on. Yeah. And they're supposed to know. They're supposed to kind of be familiar with the expedition and the risks and the stakes.
So, kind of, you learn later that they're essentially blind running this thing too.
Yeah. So, but I was under the impression that I understand that there are going to be things that it would make sense that there's things that they don't know.
There's a lot that they don't know. Yeah.
But also, I felt like they had enough of a grip on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I think the combat is really cool. It's pretty simple, but I love the concept of being able to dodge and parry.
So, yeah, this is a big thing that I wanted to talk to you about as a dude who's currently playing a more traditional turn-based RPG. You've been playing a lot of Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
And so, which is way more like your normal turn-based, like, action item choice type thing, not less interactive in the combat. It's more traditional, like old school RPG. This, I want to get your thoughts on the way the combat system works, because honestly, to me, I love the story. I think that actually the turn-based combat system, the way they do the dodge parry stuff, is my favorite part. It can be very frustrating, but it's very difficult.
Not if you play on story mode like a big chungus baby.
Oh, yeah.
Like me. So, have you ever played Mother 3?
I have not played Mother 3. I've only played the first one.
So, it reminds me on principle of games like Mother 3, where it's a, at its core, it's an RPG. But the way that it how do I articulate this? So it spices up its combat in a really creative way. For example, in Mother 3, if you time your button presses to your attack to the music, then you can do more damage. So if it's like, if you have a song and it's like da na na da na 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 na. If you attack, you go ta 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 ta. Like you could do more damage. But there's like a boss theme that's in like a really obscure time signature. So it forces you to listen to that, and then you gotta like do it. It's basically like math rock or prog attacking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like it reminds me of that, where at its core, I probably explained that poorly, but at its core, it is an RPG.
Yeah.
But they do something unique and fun with the combat to keep it engaging, and it's very creative. And I haven't seen it done that way
there
other game.
There are tells, and that's kind of what you're getting at, like with the Mother 3 example.
Yeah,
it's like there are tells that if you do something a certain way, you can kind of see the pacing. And like once you get in my opinion, once you get the first like dodge or parry, you kind of like start to understand the flow of the attack and like how the timing is.
Yeah.
Kind of. Now I will say, later game, the way they get around that is they will feint you like crazy, and it is super annoying. It is insanely annoying because they'll do these like linger moves where they'll like hesitate and then hit you, or they'll do these things where they'll go to attack and then swing over you and then come down, and it's like you think like based on previous instances of combat, like it'll super fake you out.
You know where else another great RPG that does that is Paper Mario 2.
Oh yeah, the timing thing.
Yeah, you can time your attack depending on what button you press. You can either guard or you could do damage to them, but the timing is harder to do damage back. And if you attack and you hit buttons like midair, you can gain style points. So
oh yeah, that's true.
I think it's so cool that I think it's cool when RPGs do that. When they know, okay, turn-based is kind of old. It's kind of
most everybody has moved to action RPG outside of like Dragon Quest.
Right. And even Dragon Quest has some very
elements,
very like surface level action RPG that you can move in combat and then you can attack, but it's very minimal. But I know what you're saying, and you're right. So I think it's really cool when RPGs do that, and I'm excited to keep playing to see how much I enjoy it.
100%. I will say the games that you're referencing, Mother 3 and Paper Mario, are in the RPG landscape some of the most legendary games of all time.
Yeah.
And the fact that like Expedition 33 is already kind of getting compared to that, even to you who's barely played the game, like it's already getting compared to that. And then story-wise, it's very Final Fantasy-esque. It's like those are legacies in the genre. It's kind of cool that it's already there, and obviously it's there for a reason. It is a very good game. A lot of people love it. It won a bunch of awards and all this kind of stuff. It's super cool. I think you're going to love it. But I don't want to wax on too long about that game. I just wanted to kind of, if people want to check it out, they want to see Brooks' reaction to the first hour. If you've played the game, you know what happens in the first hour. And if you don't care about spoilers and you want to see Brooks freak out to the first hour, it's on his channel. You should go check it out. The link will be in the description for that. So you should go check that out. Brooks, there's a thing that we talked about and we did a reaction to last week that kind of brought up a conversation for us midweek that you really wanted to talk about. And I think it's really cool because I actually want to learn more about it. And it's a thing that I want to do more this year, which is Pokemon ROM hacks and like different variations of ROM hacks in video games broadly. So I'm going to let you kind of handle this part and I'll ask questions as needed.
So, wow, where do we even begin? I'll start with some of the ROM hacks that I've played that I've enjoyed in the past.
Yeah, I would love some basic recommendations.
So I grew up on ROM hacks like Shiny Gold and Fire Red Omega. Those are some pretty basic, because I mean I love Fire Red and Leaf Green. I love Gen 3. And those games sort of they're pretty basic. Like Shiny Gold is just Pokemon Gen 2 Johto with some team tweaks and stuff like that. But it's in
quality of life
the
tweaks.
Gen 3 format, which is like, you know, that's pre-physical special split, but it also offers things like natures and IVs and EVs and certain things like that. Fire Red Omega, you basically start with Jinx, Electabuzz, and Magmar, but I think their stats are altered, and then you just it's much harder. It's kind of like the precursor to Radical Red, which I haven't played, but Radical Red is like the ROM hack of all time. Like also I'm friends with a lot of the PokeTubers. I've worked for a lot of them, and they are, to this day, I think some of them are still nuzlocking Radical Red in specific ways and certain things like that.
So maybe just to start it out, because as I was thinking about it, as you're giving some examples, let's describe to those who aren't in the know about what this is, about what is a ROM hack. And like specifically with Pokemon, we'll use Pokemon as the example, but just knowing that like there are very famous Zelda ROM hacks, there are very famous Mario ROM hacks, but Pokemon is the ones that I see the most as well, and they're probably the most popular in that genre. So let's talk about like what a ROM hack is, kind of what defines that.
Yeah, and you make a good point, because when I hear ROM hack, I immediately think Pokemon. But ROM hack, I mean, I've played a Zelda, there's a Link to the Past and Super Metroid combined randomizer, and it's you play through both games at the same time. items are randomized, so you have to go in back and forth in and out of each game. Like you'll go into a cave or a dungeon in Zelda, and you'll come out in like Norfair, and it's pretty cool. So basically, a ROM hack is just you take a game and you tweak it, and that's
a ROM being the like digitized version of that
it's
game.
like you would upload
information.
like you would rip the game file, upload it to the internet and or your computer or whatever, and you tweak it, and it's extremely simple, but how creative people get with these things are nuts. I've only played the Link to the Past randomizer. I'm not good enough to do the combined randomizer, but it exists. Also, I don't know if you remember this, but Mario ROM hacks it built people's careers.
Oh,
in early YouTube Let's Play, early 2010s, like
the Kaizo levels and stuff.
Kaizo Mario is one of the most popular.
If you've ever heard of a Kaizo Mario level, like that would be considered a ROM hack where you've like tweaked the level.
I still see them now. So I don't think it inspired Mario Maker, but Mario Maker is
I think 100% did. I think Nintendo said, "Oh, these people are making a living and money off of essentially building their own levels that are insanely hard and then trying to beat them. We'll just make a game that is that, and so that people aren't messing with our IP in a way we don't like."
See, now that would be giving Nintendo too much credit, which I will not be doing. Because fuck them. And also they hate emulation and all that stuff. They hate tweaking their games.
Which is why
Which
is why I think they did it.
So maybe I mean I'm not gonna say that there's a 0% possibility, but like knowing their track record and how much they ignore that, and they're just so out of touch when it comes to that kind of stuff, I highly doubt it. But I'm not gonna say that it didn't happen. But yeah, ROM hacks. There's so many cool ones. Like also, a ROM hack is different than like a fan game. Mm-hmm. So there's like Pokemon Uranium was a very popular fan game, but it wasn't a hack. It was built from the ground up. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't
its own code. It was
its own thing.
Yeah.
So I get those confused.
Because it is hard to tell a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, I think because Radical Red I don't know if it's built from the ground up or not, but it is heavily based on Gen 1. Mm-hmm. But like Gen 3 Fire Red, like that's what it's based on. But I don't know. Let's look this up. Let's learn in real time. Was Radical Red a ROM hack? Let's see. Yeah, like Radical Red is like one of the highest regarded ROM hacks ever made. Mm-hmm. But it is a ROM hack. Yeah. They didn't build it from the ground up. Like there's, the fan games are that way, and there is the distinction to be made
for sure.
Also, the entire Nuzlocke
the idea
community
of Nuzlocks
has been greatly enhanced and has benefited immensely from ROM hacking. Because
I think me and you talked about this over the phone the other day, where it's like technically by definition, because I think in my definition of a ROM hack, it's like playing a game outside of the intended way it was meant to be played. Yeah. Technically, a Nuzlocke is a ROM hack, but like a non-modified ROM hack.
So so it depends. So you can do a Nuzlocke. You could do an organic Nuzlocke where it's like, I'm just going to play the base game on, let's say you play it on the original hardware, or you limit
when
yourself
they die, you have a graveyard in your PC, and then you just dump your Pokemon in the graveyard.
Yeah. And then you could use a randomizer and like totally rework the way that the game works. Like you can do a lot of cool stuff. Like you could change specific rules. You can randomize their natures, their moves, their locations, spawns. You can tweak it to where you could force trade evolutions by like level 40, which is cool. I always do that because, you can't trade on that. or you could just make it stupid difficult if you want to, but it limits you from Pokemon like Machamp or Gengar or Alakazam, and they're really good Pokemon to have. So, but it's up to you whether or not you want to do that. And that's the cool thing about ROM hacking is like you can literally, if you're smart enough and you know what you're doing, you can tweak a game and make it any experience that you want. And you could make it as hard as you want. You can make it as easy as you want. And it's also different than modding. Yes. Because modding is just adding to it feels weird when I would
say modding is adding a layer on top of the base game, but not inherently changing the base game. I would consider a ROM hack like altering the base game.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the distinction there. That's all I've always felt.
You're changing the fundamental like structure of the game, but modding is just adding to an existing piece. But it's vaguely very similar.
Very similar.
And ROM hacks are cool. I grew up on them. I'm playing a ROM hack right now called Pokemon Polished Crystal, and I saw it. I think somebody was talking about it on Instagram or something. I don't know where I saw it, but I've been playing it and it's really good. Do I love it? Not quite. I think I would have to finish it, but I really, really like it. It is like the best way to experience Gen 2, like original Gen 2.
I'll have to try that because Gen 2 is my favorite Gen.
Yeah. So you can choose whether you want the physical special split or not. You could choose how like you gain experience. You get Pokemon like Leafeon and Sylveon and stuff like that was not originally. They have updated sprites for characters and for Pokemon and like they have extended content in the game. Like there are places you go in the game that are not in the original Crystal. Like trade evolutions, there's something called a link cord, and you give it to them. Like a Pokemon like Kadabra, then you get Alakazam. Or if you have a metal coat, you could give it to Onyx, level them up once, and now you have Steelix. So it's...
And you also get shinies, don't you?
Yes. Also, not only do you get shinies, but there are variations of color palettes for Pokemon, and they're not shiny. I saw a Geodude that was more blue than like brown, and I was like, what the hell is that thing? Yeah. And I thought I missed a shiny, but no, it's just, and you could turn that off. You can toggle that if you want to. But the best part about this is like the quality of life jump from the original Crystal to this is like unmatched. Like you play this, you won't be able to go back to the original because you're like, oh my God, I want to play Polished Crystal. Now, it's actually challenging too. Every boss. Also, my team right now is ass. I'm actually considering starting over from scratch and building a brand new team now that I'm familiar with the game, which I don't mind doing. My team is ass. Like, I didn't plan very well. I was like, oh, I want to use that. I want to use this. I want to use that. But they're not very good.
I think playing through the game all the way through doing that is probably fine the first time, and then resetting and playing another game with a more optimized version of it.
I've done that before. A long time ago when Diamond and Pearl came out, I started with Turtwig, and I had Torterra. I was like maybe 60% through the game. I started over from scratch and went back and picked Infernape and did it all. See, that nearly killed me now. So
yeah.
I'm still...
You're still residual.
I'm still haunted by that. I love Turtwig. I love Torterra. But
residual regret.
Now, there's a guy who I was never close with, but I've met him before. His name is Hoodlum Callum, and he is one of the original PokeTuber guys that I remember, especially like within the last like 5 to 7 years, and he played a lot of these ROM hacks. But he was one of those creators where like they would play through the whole ROM hack or the fan game, and that's just what they did. and he was really good at it from the little that I've seen. But he was always a homie. He's got awesome tattoos.
That's really dope.
I
feel like that's
years,
a whole world that I haven't.
And then there's more people.
Yeah, on the side of YouTube.
It was the Let's Play format, the classic Let's Play format. Like Munching Orange also did it, but like he would do the actual games. Like
insight to later, we have a video for Munching Orange. Speaking of Munching Orange,
but he did like the original games. Like I remember when Black and White came out, and he did those, and Heart Gold Soul Silver came out, he did those. Like, but Callum did the ROM hacks and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really cool. And yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah,
I've played a handful of ROM
I want
hacks.
to try. I'll probably try the Polished Crystal one because like that gen is my favorite, and I'll probably try. I like the Gen 3 version of the like Fire Red, Leaf Green. So I'll probably try the Radical Red.
Yeah, those are my favorites from that era. Those ROM hacks are like my favorite. Again, Fire Red Omega, I remember playing a lot of. Shiny Gold was like one of my favorites. Now, I do want to mention the last one I'll mention, a dishonorable mention, if you will.
Okay.
Pokemon Clover.
Okay.
Pokemon Clover is a deplorable thing.
Is that a Gen 3?
Yes, is a Gen 3 ROM hack. I played quite a bit of it like forever ago. I was like barely 20 when I played this. So the gist of Pokemon Clover is that I think the devs wanted to be as edgy and as offensive as possible.
Okay.
It is bizarre. Like that would not fly today. And I wanted to mention it because it's one of those infamous ROM hacks.
Yeah,
like
because it's not good. Because of how bad
it's weird because like conceptually they had like they created like a fire fairy type, but it was just a woman in a slice of pizza like fused together. There was like a electric poison like creature thing that was cool, but they also had I don't even want to mention them. But
they just went really far into a place where it's like those types of games are the reason that Nintendo comes after these things sometimes.
Well, yeah, because dude, like, just look it up for yourself.
Okay.
Like,
or don't just stay away from it. Just
Crystal,
stay away from it.
Pokemon, not Crystal. Pokemon Polished Crystal, good. Clover, really, really bad.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine 2010s edgy internet, like super offensive, just that all of that, like 4chan culture, like, but in a Pokemon ROM hack, and every awful thing that you could think of, they put it in that game. And I can't believe it. Like,
well, the Clover is for 4chan, I assume.
It is. It's exactly right. And it exists if you want to go look it up.
Yeah, that's
insane. But
that's insane. Yeah.
Young, immature me from that era that was like
thought it was awesome.
Raised on that internet culture.
Yeah.
Thought it was the funniest thing ever. In hindsight, looking back at that, it has aged like chocolate milk in the desert. Awful. But I had to mention it because it is a part of ROM hack history.
Yeah. Sure.
It's pretty infamous, but
the only instance that I have with the ROM hacks is my friend Ryan, shout out Ryan Irvin, who Brooks also knows.
Oh, yeah.
When he would stream a lot, he used to be a big Zelda and Pokemon Nuzlocke streamer. And he did a Zelda Ocarina of Time run that was randomized.
That's cool. Those are cool.
That's so difficult. Like watching him do that, I was like, I don't even understand. Like apparently it randomizes it in such a way that it is possible to beat,
Yeah.
but it is still very difficult to do. And I think he was timed. I think he also was like he was a race. Like it was him and somebody else like racing to beat the game.
Oh,
Randomized.
wow. That's even crazier. I'd be so stressed. Like
I know.
I don't really know Ocarina of Time that well. I've played it a few times.
It's one of mine and his favorite games. He's a big Zelda nerd like me.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, that's my only real instance. So I'm gonna have to check out some of these Pokemon ROM hack ones, like the Polished Crystal and the Radical Red. That sounds really fun because those are my favorite kind of like spots.
The last thing I'll say about this, and then we can move on to our next topic, which is Pokemon related.
Yep.
I love ROM hacks. I think there's a place for them. I think that it just proves it kind of just proves the strength of a community and how people, like we love Pokemon, we love Mario, we love Zelda, we love Metroid, we love these like classic games. And some people are content with those like myself. Like I'm not a one that really likes to be challenged too heavily when it comes to video gaming. But like some people really like that. And they're like, I love this game so much. I want more. I want more. It's just, it's so sweet.
And if you like anything about games, you can find a ROM hack that fits your style. That's the perk of it. Like
or if you're tech savvy enough, you can make make whatever game you want out of it. And like,
cool.
It's awesome. I love ROM hacking. I love the creativity behind it. And also, it has built careers specifically on the randomized Nuzlocks and all that stuff and like the Kaizo Mario run. Do you remember SSOH PKC?
No.
Well, that was an actual creator and that was their username, SSOH PKC, and Proton John as well. There were some of the early Kaizo Mario runners. Sorry, I'm untying this. I don't know why this is tied. But there's some of the original like Kaizo creators that I remember from forever ago, but I don't know. It's ingrained in my brain now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, ROM hacks are cool. ROM hacks are awesome.
That's awesome. Brooks, the next thing is a big deal, in my opinion, or potentially a really big deal. Brooks, I want to talk about, we love Pokemon so much. We love the games like we've talked about before on the podcast and on this episode. It means so much to us. We love, like, especially the older games, and it's crazy to think about, but it is 30 years in 2026. It is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon.
Crazy.
And if Pokemon's going to do anything about that, it's probably going to be a big deal. So I want to go through a couple of these things. Firstly, I don't know if you've seen this, but the new the logo that they're doing is so cute.
They're bringing back Fat Pikachu, which is love Fat Pikachu. I think it is objectively the superior design.
Agreed.
And I will stand on business when it comes to Fat Pikachu. I love that little bastard.
Yeah. I love it so much. And this is just such a cute design. But on top of that, Pokemon 30th anniversary has already launched a bunch of collaborations with things like McDonald's.
Yep.
Uniqlo, which is I really like Uniqlo. They're a clothing brand I wear a lot of. Adidas, which means that there's potentially some really cool Pokemon shoes coming out, which I'm pretty pumped about. And then the Pokemon Lego set, which is something I want to talk about. So talking about Munching Orange. Munching Orange posted a video talking about the Pokemon 30th anniversary, talking about this Lego set.
Yeah.
This is the first time they've ever done a proper Lego set, apparently. Everything else, I didn't realize, but now that I think about it, it's true. Everything else had only ever been Mega Bloks, not Legos.
Because I don't think they've ever done an official Lego collab.
They have not. Nintendo has. Nintendo has obviously like the big Game Boy.
Yeah.
And like the Mario sets and like the Zelda sets. They've just announced a Zelda set not too long ago that's really, really cool. And they have like a big Bowser and like an old, Super NES and stuff. And it's like, so Nintendo's relationship with Lego is pretty strong, but Pokemon, like the Pokemon company, has always been. They started with an Ionix thing that looked awful, and then the first one that actually worked was a Mega Bloks collaboration. But these look really, really cool. What doesn't look really, really cool are these prices.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Dog. Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise is $650.
But
bro, that's more than a Nintendo Switch 2.
Andrew, you don't understand. They still can't put voice acting in their games. They have to do this, so maybe whatever Gen 9 or Gen 10, whatever the
10,
the Gen 10 will have voice acting if you buy all the Lego sets. You will buy all of the Lego sets for hundreds of dollars.
And the problem is like these look so sick. These look so sick.
Chump. You are a fool. If you actually buy them, I'm happy for you because I think they're awesome.
No, they look so awesome. Like, I'm jealous. I do not have the disposable income to drop $650 on that set. Now, I will say, the one thing, they have this Pokemon Center, this mini Pokemon Center, that you can't actually buy. It costs 2,500 points. But if you notice, the Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise is more than 2,500 points. So if you buy this, you also get the Pokemon Center, which is that's kind of cool.
So there's a point system allocated to your purchases or whatever.
Yeah, it's a Lego thing that they do for like.
I'm just gonna have to sell a kidney, and then I can have it.
Yeah, I know. You could have this for one kidney.
Yeah. What does he say about it? What is he thinking?
let's check these out real quick. So shout out Munching Orange, by the way.
Trio, the Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, man, that hurts my soul seeing that price tag. These sets
it's rough.
Definitely seem to be targeted more at adult collectors than kids, and they've actually already announced that in the summer they're going to be releasing play sets, which are more catered towards kids and are probably going to be a little bit cheaper than these. I only see these three on the Lego website right now, but I know for sure there's this mini Pokemon Center set. Seems to be a insider's reward. Oh, it says right here, you get 390 Lego Insider points if you purchase Eevee. And you need 2,500, I think, to get the Pokemon Center.
Pause it real quick.
So yeah, if you buy the Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, you can get the Pokemon Center set.
So those points, are they applicable to, do you need like a Lego account?
Yeah, I think you're like, you have to sign up for like a Lego Insider account.
Wow. And
getting
then
you emails.
Oh God. And promotions.
If you buy the Pikachu, you do not get enough. But honestly, what hurt more than any of these prices is that potentially the best set to some people, the Kanto badge set, can't even be purchased on its own. You can only get it by pre-ordering the Kanto starter evolutions. For some reason, I am not seeing how to get it though. It says on this Insta post that the Kanto region badge collection will be gift with purchase.
It's a great idea.
While stocks last. So it's possible that they already ran out of stock.
Oh my God.
It doesn't show the Kanto badge set.
Maybe now we're going to have
the price hike up on this is going to be crazy.
Dude, you thought the TCG was bad? It still is.
It still is.
But now scalpers are going to ruin Legos, man.
They already kind of are, but yeah.
Hits the window. Maybe it just automatically, if you buy it now as a pre-order, you'll get it. But it's kind of a risk not seeing it in your cart. But as you might have seen, all of these Lego sets will release on February 27th, which is Pokemon Day. So if you pre-order them now, you'll get them then.
Oh, wow. Right on Pokemon Day.
About pre-orders, I mentioned earlier, but Lego tend to be a lot more responsible, I guess you could say, in making sure they have enough stock for years to come. I know Pokemon's a whole different beast in terms of like how much people want Pokemon stuff, but the Great Deku Tree, for example, from The Legend of Zelda, you can still buy this right now. It is a back order, so it'll ship within like a couple of days or weeks. But you can still buy it officially
this hurts
from
my
Legos.
soul.
I know, dude. It's crazy, right?
He said it first, and then I literally said it without thinking. But like, yeah, he summed it up as best as possible. I think not very articulate today, but he summed it up well because I feel that in my bones.
All right,
Like that-
so I want to go through because for the 20th anniversary, they did do some very specific things. So for the 20th anniversary, here's a Bulb Garden list of all of the things they did 10 years ago for the 2016 20th anniversary, which most notably, obviously, they did the trading card game stuff. They had a Super Bowl ad, which I think was the first time they ever had a Pokemon Super Bowl ad that year.
Yeah, you think they would have had one earlier?
I know. And then they had a bunch of games. They had Sun and Moon coming out that year. They had Pokemon Photo Booth coming out that year. Pokemon was in Splatoon and in Super Mario Maker as like things that you could get. But the big one was this one, which is the new Nintendo 3DS special edition version of with the fire red or with the red and blue like panels that go on top of it. Also, this thing is like $2,000 on eBay right now. It's crazy. But the other thing with that, they did that as a promotion to announce that on the 3DS, they also, for the first time, had Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow available on the 3DS shop that you could buy them digitally.
Yeah.
And this special edition came with Red and Blue pre-installed on the game system for you.
Isn't it crazy how a company, if there's enough value for the IP, they could literally just make like, imagine they made 10 of these and that was it. And they're creating value out of thin air. They're like,
oh yeah,
and people will pay it,
Yeah.
my words. People will buy it. They will pay for it. And this IP is so strong that they can literally create value out of thin air.
You know that we say like casually, Pokemon is the number one IP in the world. Everybody kind of understands that, in general.
Yeah.
But this staying power right here shows what we're talking about when we say that the Pokemon is the number one IP in the world. We're talking about February 27th or whatever it is Pokemon Day, which is the day that Red and Blue released, or Red and Green, I guess, released in Japan. So not even when it dropped in America. This is the day it released in Japan. It's a 30-year-old game. And we got people willing to pay almost $700 for a Lego set that has to do with that game.
Unreal.
It's crazy. The IP power is just unmatched. So the thing I want to present or ask of you, Brooks, and I'll stop,
is to give me $700 so I can.
No. Is what do you think they're gonna do for the Pokemon anniversary this year? What do you think we're gonna get? A Switch? Do you think we're gonna get the games finally on Nintendo Switch Online? What do you think? I want to know, just like off the dome thoughts, like, because they've done some crazy stuff like this before. There's prerequisite with the last time. Do you think we're finally gonna get Gen 1, maybe Gen 2 on Nintendo Switch Online?
That's a good question because I need to separate what I would love to see
Yes.
and what might
So
happen.
let's do both. Let's do both.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I don't have a Nintendo Switch Online account, but I know for a fact that there's a lot of people that would love it. And it would be a really cool way for you to be able to do the online trading system with your old Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like there.
Here's what I would like versus what I think is going to happen. What I would like to see is maybe a black and white remake, remaster, but actually like, I'd like for them to do it better than BDSP.
Sure.
I'm a BDSP. I'm a casual BDSP enjoyer, and I understand all the criticisms about it. Whatever, people hate those, and they're right. There's some people that I know that skipped out on it entirely and played Legends ZA. They didn't want that so much. Like they chose Legends ZA over BDSP, which is wow. So I would love to see like just black and white being acknowledged like that because it's about time. I would love to see, they're not going to do this. I would love to see remasters of Coliseum and Gale of Darkness.
Well, those are already coming to the
yeah,
Nintendo Switch Online. They won't do remasters, but they are going to put it on Nintendo Switch Online, and I think that is going to actually happen on Pokemon Day.
Yeah. That's cool. I personally, Nintendo, Pokemon Company, whatever, I will purchase those, and I don't like you right now.
Yeah.
I will do that.
You want to win some fans back over? That's a way to do it right there, man.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that I want them to do is have something, a teaser for Gen 10. I don't want it to come out this year. Like Gen 10, make it good. Wait another year or two. I don't care how long it takes. Just make it better.
The thing is, dude, if they actually could garner so much goodwill with like, if you're gonna do re-releases and like stretch the time between Pokemon games, like this is actually the year to do it.
Yeah. Here's what I think I agree with that. And here's what I think they're actually gonna do. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna push some like they're just gonna push merch. I think like they're probably gonna have a custom Pokemon Switch 2. They're probably gonna have their own like hardware like that. Maybe some Pokemon Joy-Cons. Yeah. Like something similar to the idea of Pokemon Legos, where it's gonna be like they're gonna have some kind of merchandise or some kind of
IP around.
Maybe some TCG stuff.
So they definitely will do some TCG stuff because they did TCG stuff for the 20th anniversary. And
yeah,
it was
like promo cards.
It was like a
decks,
big, like collector box that you could get. It's like also $1,000 now.
I think they're gonna keep it pretty low stakes and just pump a bunch of merch.
So
that's what I think is gonna happen.
Here's what I would like to see, and then I have something really funny I think we could read through. So what I would like to see is, obviously, I don't think they would ever do the Gale of Darkness thing, mainly just because it's already coming. They already know that that's coming to the GameCube side of Nintendo Switch Online. So that's already been confirmed. The Coliseum and all the stadium stuff has already been confirmed. So, but what they have, I think Stadium's already on Nintendo Switch Online. The cool thing about Stadium that you can do that they haven't tapped into yet, and this is just me being like real, Charlie conspiracy theory here stuff right now. They've been sitting on Pokemon Stadium just existing on Nintendo Switch Online. Now would be the time to bring back Red, Blue, Yellow to have also on Nintendo Switch Online. You play that game and have a way to digitally insert that game into Pokemon Stadium to then do the thing that you would do before with your 64, which is insert the game and like you be able to use your team on that game in Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So then you could actually connect it, and it makes, dude, that alone, I'm immediately thinking, I might buy Nintendo Switch Online, like just for that. Like that sounds awesome because I never had the thing to connect.
Oh yeah,
my cartridge
Yeah, I have.
to that?
I don't have the cartridge thing. I have Stadium 2 at home,
Yeah.
but I've never been able to like build the proper team and then take it in and do the whole like.
Yeah, dude.
I
can
always use
actually,
rentals,
like,
and using
crush.
rentals in that game is brutal.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult. It's actually near impossible to win using
It's
rentals.
like it's like very. I mean, you got to be skilled to know what you're doing, but it's a lot of luck. It's like I got to get the RNGesus has to pull through for me.
Yeah, for sure. You're basically relying on criticals, which is like super rare.
That and
point.
also just like if they have 4 Pokemon, you just got to make sure they have the worst 3, like the worst combination of 3 because they'll send out 3 and it's a 3v3 single battle.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's kind of So
a lot
I'm
of luck
hoping
involved.
that not only will they do that, but then they will be able to, through Nintendo Switch Online, with the updated wireless system and all the new stuff that they've been doing for Nintendo Switch Online, be able to allow you to then trade digitally across your Switches, not having to be near people, but just with your friends online. That's kind of like the most ultimate version of those old games. Fully realize I would also love it, just as like an extra thing, if they would update everything to a, obviously not a Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl like type thing, but like a good version of that upgrade for Gen 1 would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just something like that. They've already done it, I know, with Gen 3, the Gen 3 model update, but like that went over so well.
Yep.
You know, that's a lot of people's favorite version of that game. If they update it again, give it the 2D, 3D thing that Square Enix does all the time, and dude, that would be, I would love that so much.
Seeing a Pokemon game in the 2D, dude, you know what would be crazy?
That'd be awesome.
Here's a wild thing that they'll never do, but if they did it, I would absolutely
good graces would
go
abound for you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'd go stupid. I would become moronic if they did this. I would revert back to Neanderthalism.
True Monk Brooks.
I would become monkey if they did this. So like, you know how they redid Dragon Quest 2 and 3?
Yeah, and the HD 3D,
if they swapped
HD
up,
2D.
if they just like, okay, ditch this 3D crap that we've been doing, this like these whatever, people don't like that. Let's do a hyper stylized 2.5D Pokemon adventure.
Dude. Game over.
I would ascend.
See, here's the thing though. Like that, to me, doesn't feel that far-fetched. Not for the mainline games. The mainline games, I think at this point, we're fully set on the 3D like train at this point for the mainline newer stuff. But any remakes you do, just do it that way.
Oh yeah,
instant win. You've won over everyone. The Dragon Quest thing, and honestly, like all of the Octopath Traveler stuff and Triangle Strategy stuff.
Yes.
People love that. I personally love that style for those
awesome.
2D, 2.5D, 3D sprite things. Like I love that style. HD 2.5D or whatever the heck it's called. I love that style, and I would love to see updated sprites, updated updated quality of life stuff for Gen 1 in that system. And then you connect it all the other ways, you know, with Pokemon Stadium and being able to trade. Like that's okay. So that is honestly the only thing I want them to do, because anything else I think is too much to ask, because they're already them and they're not going to give you a whole lot. And then maybe Gen 2 in the same way. That would also be cool. Now, is it going to come for the Pokemon like Nintendo Switch Online collection? Is just going to be the normal? Doubt it. You're going to have to buy like a whole separate Nintendo Switch Online tier, or it's going to be only available on the Nintendo Switch.
I canceled mine actually.
Yeah, it's going to be the only available on like the higher tier one or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, I get it. That's their big IP. But just to gut check ourselves on high expectations, I found a really good Reddit thread that I want us to look at that I think is really, really funny. This is called People with High Expectations for the Pokemon 30th Anniversary Should Temper Them a Lot.
Oh, yeah. I already agree with that.
So let's read through some of these. I think it's really, really funny. I'm already seeing people speak in absolutes about how this year they finally released the entire back catalog. In reality, what we'll most likely see is they will announce they've prepared a short movie.
That's so good.
And then the thread just gets great because it's just people like saying the things that I'm like, yeah. The start of the presentation will be a 5-minute video of Japanese kids running through the grass as they flash through every main series game, followed by a Pokemon Cafe update and Sleep Plus, another new mobile game nobody asked for.
Oh my god!
It's either overpriced DLC or Sim Saga in Pokemon Cafe. You choose.
That's basically what I said, only way funnier and better.
Way funnier, yeah. And the new Kanto Park opening in Kanto, Japan. How fun. Be sure to visit on your next Japan vacation. And nothing for the use. Bye.
That's
what
so
I would
good.
what I would like now, this is what they would like announced. Gen 1+2 collection on Switch 2, Pokemon Coliseum and XD finally arrive on NSO, which I think will happen for sure. Detective Pikachu 2 movie release date. Next gen games revealed, special TCG set for the anniversary. This person's very kind of on par with what they want with you, Brooks. What they actually expect. The Coliseum and XD on GameCube NSO and special TCG set. Yeah. And somebody said the Detective Pikachu 2 movie release date is somehow the least likely thing on that list that will actually happen.
Yeah. We just want to see Ryan Reynolds again next to this, CGI Pikachu.
This is great. At least up to Gen 3 would be reasonable to be re-released, I think. It would be reasonable, but we know that's not enough of a reason.
Oh
it's
my
just
god.
so good.
Or what if they make stuff that's like stuff that people would never ever think of? Like they make a Pokemon, but like a courtroom drama. Imagine Pokemon Phoenix Wright.
Oh, yeah.
But they just do like, it's just that, but Pokemon's version. And then they can do it because they're Pokemon. But if they did it first,
yeah,
then they would sue you into oblivion.
Yeah, for sure. I think I agree with you, though. I think and a lot of these other people are also kind of in agreement that like they'll probably get a Gen 10 reveal of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
No release date.
I think it's going to be a teaser at most.
Maybe kind of like what we got the first time, which is like just a real world teaser, and then like I think we got the original 3, but not fully. It was just like in a poster or something on the wall.
Yeah, you know what we're not going to hear? We've considered your feedback. We've listened. We hear you.
You're right.
It's like as if you asked like AI or something. It's like, hey, could you do something for me? And they're like, okay, I see where you're coming from. Okay, let me check my sources and I'll figure out what I can do.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. Yeah,
it's like that.
Sure.
That would basically be the Pokemon company being like, okay, I see what you're saying.
We've heard your feedback. We know some of you are upset. No, never. That's never going to happen.
Let me do some digging and see if I can find an answer for you. And I'm like,
yeah,
bro, just do it. You know what you need to do. You just have to do it.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I mean, I am kind of excited because I think that the Gen 1 thing, if of any of the possibilities, obviously Gale of Darkness and Coliseum coming to NSO it's already been announced it's going to happen. Gen 10, I'm not excited about it, mainly just because it's just like I feel like I'm gonna be more disappointed than anything.
I literally couldn't care less. Like
the thing
and that's the worst way to feel.
I know. The thing I am potentially excited about it is the Gen 1, Gen 2, maybe even Gen 3 stuff coming to online, and the way that happens. I know a lot of people will just be happy, not me. I am not people, but a lot of people will just be happy if they just get it on Nintendo Switch Online, and maybe it connects to, Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2 or whatever. Like, if that's what they want, that's fine. To go the extra mile would be to do what we're talking about, which is like the HD 2D remakes.
To go the extra mile would mean they care.
Exactly. And that's the main problem is I don't think they will. Would I
don't think
love
they
to
do at
see it?
all.
Dude, I'd buy the game immediately. Like,
Yeah.
I have no issue immediately purchasing that. It would be a reason, to be honest, it would be a reason to get me to buy a Switch 2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that would be a system seller if you had a really
Dude,
good
you literally
Pokemon
just
game for Switch 2.
sell a good 2.5D Pokemon game. You're going to sell an insane amount of Switch 2s
You're
to
also gonna
anyone
get
like
some,
myself who's holding out.
You're gonna win over some good grace with fans because they're gonna
100%.
like fans are gonna notice. They're gonna be like, oh, they're
They tried.
trying.
Yeah.
There's effort here. What? And then
And-
I think people would buy it on principle at that point.
Sure. It's like, oh, we want to show that because they tried, like we want good faith in that. But also on top of that, it would give us hope for Gen 10. Even, you know what I mean? It's like seeing something like that would immediately give us hope that Gen 10 isn't going to be an absolute dumpster fire like Gen 9 was.
Yeah. Yeah. And I enjoyed Gen 9 to a point. You know, I played it once all the way through and
I didn't. I got about like 4 or 5 gyms in, and I was like,
yeah. I literally deleted all of my data on my stuff. I was like, I don't even want this.
no, I sold it immediately.
I
I
don't
sold
blame
it
you.
when I sold it when what did I think I sold it when Tears of the Kingdom came out. I sold it and traded. We have a store in town. Obviously, I'm a big Zelda guy, so like that makes sense. But we have a big store. We have a store in town named Video Game Cavern. Shout out Video Game Cavern for being awesome. They will allow trade-ins, and then I can use the credit towards new games.
Good.
So
Good. You
I
did the
can-
right thing.
Yeah, that's what I do is repurpose my games for stuff. Real quick, we got Emily said before she left, I'm going to be purchasing an ROG Ally X this year,
Yep.
which is very exciting. Mainly because the price will go down because of the Xbox One.
Yeah. Frankie just got a handheld too that I'm
They're
kind of like
awesome, dude.
I'm looking at right now and I'm like,
Dude,
she got one that was like
a
a portable one that was like she could fit it in her purse or whatever, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I kind of want to do that because I
the
like
guy
having-
as someone who like this year has been fully transitioned over to the Steam stuff away from the Nintendo things. I'm loving my Lenovo Legion Go S, dude.
Good.
It is the most comfortable thing I've ever held in my life. Easily plays every game that I could possibly want. And I even got the lower powered one. And like it doesn't play them perfectly, but it like
but it does what you need. Also, Tristan, what's
Yeah.
up, Tristan? Tristan
said the
DLC was peak for
the DLC
Scarvy.
for Scarvy, yeah. Which I did know a lot of people that liked those, and I do know a lot of people that played the Nintendo Switch 2 update for Scarvy and enjoyed it a lot more because it fixed. Now, to be honest, like it's things that should have been fixed in the first place, but
Yeah.
I'm sure. But the Scarvy update for Nintendo Switch 2 did like make the game good, like
Yes.
actually good, which is fine. I'm more mad at them at this point because it took them 2 years by that point to actually get that out. I did hear that the DLC was really, really good though, Tristan. I know a lot of people because they came out with 2 different DLCs, if I remember correctly, and a lot of because they were doing like the raid battle stuff, and I know a lot of people really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey Brooks, you got anything else you want to talk about when it comes to Pokemon 30th anniversary?
I plan to be disappointed.
I think what we should do for the Pokemon 30th anniversary, Brooks, is combine the 2 worlds, and we should play a Nuzlocke together, or some sort of we should co-play some sort of ROM hack or something.
That is a really good idea. We could
That sounds
do
really fun.
We could do our own Nuzlocke.
Yeah.
Because I have the randomizer and stuff. I can make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's actually
That sounds so fun, doesn't it?
that's a really good idea, and have it like a series on the podcast
That'd be
channel.
so fun.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. There was something that I was going to say to end off this
Yeah.
podcast, but I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you. It's gone. I don't know where it went.
You got slippery. You got slippery brain, dude.
Dude, that's an understatement. And everyone who knows me knows that.
Facts. Well, how about this? We'll say this. Would love to hear some feedback from you guys about potential Patreon or pay stuff. We want to do some extra content, but it's some things that we're trying to figure out in the back end. There's some people that we want to talk to for interviews that we want to bring to the podcast. We discussed that, I think, either 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Some fun stuff we want to do. We'd love to hear some comments below if you've made it this far and you care about what we do here on Things We Like. I think it would be super fun to hear some feedback from you guys, as well as thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed while you're down there. Drop a like and a comment. Like I said, if you want to check us out audio only because you hate looking at our faces, then feel free to go check out the audio only wherever you might get your podcasts. That's Apple, that's Spotify, that's the overlords at Amazon. That's all the places.
The overlords everywhere.
We're all on all the audio places, so if you want to drive and listen to us yap, you can now do that.
True.
So feel free to go check us out there. While you're there, leave a review. Those help us a lot because it helps get our podcast out to more people like you who would enjoy this type of stuff like you. So thank you so much for all your support and everything. Brooks, why don't you leave us with a little bit of a thought?
Don't forget that sometimes you have to turn your drying pan. I messed it up. You have to turn your frying pan into a drying pan.
There you go. Hey, Brooks, thank you so much for being here today. Guys, we love you so much. Mwah. Bye-bye. Kisses.
Bye. That's a Brock quote, by the way, and I totally flubbed that.
I'll use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan.